Hey, 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 what is good, my good people out there? You know what time it is. You know where you is. You know what it is. Yes, it is that time. It is the I Am the Possible podcast experience. The place where we aspire to inspire the innovation of your identity. Yes, it is I, your host, Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, and your self-worth specialist. Welcome once again into the I Am the Possible universe. Come on in, guys. Take a seat, grab a glass of something, whatever your preferred beverage is or whatever. Come on in, get comfortable, relax, take a load off. Here in the I'm the Possible universe, you are always welcomed. No matter who you are, where you are, how you feel, how life may be treating you, how you may be treating yourself, you are always welcomed here, man. This is a no shame zone. This is a no judgment zone. This is a take all, welcome all, love all, accept all. Welcome once again. I'm so glad, so happy, so joyous, so grateful, so thankful, I don't know how many words I can express. I'm so honored to share in this moment with you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about what I want to get out of me today. Some things that are just bubbling in my heart, man, and I just can't wait to get them out of me. We're going to take a different route this morning. This afternoon or this evening, actually, whenever you're watching it. I record in the early AM. That's the best time for me. But whenever you're watching, wherever you're watching, we're going to take a different route today, guys. And I'm excited about taking chances. I'm excited about doing something different and seeing how it lands, seeing how it works, seeing how it comes off. So I'm stepping into new territory. And I'm bringing you along with me. All right. So this morning, guys, you know how we do. You know what we do. Thank you guys again for continuing to show up for yourself. As I always like to say in my beginnings or in the intro, you know, when you dare to improve on yourself, you truly dare to improve those around you. You are always influencing someone. Someone's always watching your example. You're never isolated, like truly, right? Your life is it is influencing someone in some way, positive or negative or both. Someone's watching your example. Someone's taking cues from you. You are someone's template for life. And someone's, in a sense, mocking some of your characteristics and behaviors and patterns. And so trust and believe, man, that your life matters. You matter. And the fact that you're listening to this episode means that you care about your self-image. You care about the way that you show up in the world. You care about the way, you behave and the way that you think and the person that you are. So hats off to you. Thank you so much for caring about you, for truly by doing so, you're caring for those around you. All right. Thank you so much. So let's do this, guys. You know how we do around here. We got to start off with a thought. What do you think? Drop me a comment below here on the YouTube. Hopefully you are joining me on the tube. If not, get over to the tube. Drop me a comment. I Am the Possible over on YouTube. Make sure that you hit that bell to join the notification nation. But yeah, man, drop me a comment below. What do you think about this? Looking too far up to others can cause you to look too far down on yourself. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How does that land for you? What do you think about that? How does that sit for you? Can we look too far up to others? Are we able to? Can we, exalt others and lift others up so high that we begin to devalue ourselves? Is that possible? Are you doing that? Is that a struggle for you? Are you perhaps at a place where It seems like everyone around you is doing so well and their lives look so perfect and things are just flowing for them, but oh, woe is me. Well, if that's where you are and if that's what you're dealing with, then today's episode is certainly for you. Guys, today's topic, today's idea, and that's why I said we're going a little different. I don't know how the title landed. I don't know how people perceived it, but hopefully it was some clickbait. Hopefully hopefully you clicked on it for no other reason other than being curious, right? But check this out, guys. How sin, yes, I said it, sin, can help you see how good you are. You guys know in the I'm the Possible universe, we are all about creativity, innovation, doing things different, seeing things different, being things that are different, right? And so it's a little spin on words and it's a little take on a different, it's a different take on an age-old topic and subject. But what I'm excited about is that God, I believe in my planning for this one, God showed me how anything in the proper context can be utilized to help us in our lives. All right. So hang tight. It will all make sense in just a moment. All right, guys, we got to get into our intros. You know how we do it. Our mission here on the I Am the Possible podcast experience to share ideas, information, and individuals that will inspire you to think of yourself in a way that makes the life you want possible. That's it. Come on, guys. It is a direct connection between how we think about ourselves and how we live and how we behave and how we do things in this world. And many times, guys, it is the actions that we're taking or not taking that is leading to the results that we continuously see. But the actions are motivated and inspired first by the way that we think. Most importantly, the way that we think about ourselves. Our confession, here in the I Am the Possible universe, we believe that our tongue has power, Proverbs 13. So we confess what we want to create around here. All right. If this is your first time joining, we believe that our words create our worlds. Oh, yes. The world within, our belief systems, frameworks, perceptions, perspectives. So say this with me. This is our confession for the day. I'm about to learn something that will transform the way I think about myself and help make the life I want possible. That's right. We are all about the possibilities of life around here. All right. That's a pretty good confession, by the way. All right. Our disclaimer alert. Yes, guys, our disclaimer. The ideas expressed on this podcast serve only as a component of a much, much, much larger and complex puzzle called the human behavior. That's right. Our rabbit holes go deep, and this is only a piece of the puzzle. So you want to keep tuning in to more and more episodes to get all of the pieces. You might want to hit me up at iamthepossible.com and schedule some coaching classes with me. We got some free resources, some masterclasses as well. Whole bunch of good stuff coming up this year that will help you to gather all of the pieces of the puzzle. But this is just a piece. It's not the end all do all. And the other reason that I have this disclaimer is because I also have a profound respect for mental health. And I understand, and this just really gives me an opportunity to say, if you are at a place in your life where motivation and inspiration and, good ideas, while they carry value, they're not what you need to establish the quality of life that you really desire and deserve, then this gives me an opportunity to encourage you to get the help you need. We all need someone. Does that make sense? All right, guys. Today's idea, how sin can help you see how good you are. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how does sin help? Sin, for some of us, we believe, hey man, sin sends us to hell. For some of us believe, hey man, sin complicates everything. Sin makes us feel bad and ucky inside. Sin, makes me regret. Sin makes me, feel, down on myself, right? Well, there's a new spin on this thing called sin, and we got to begin. Oh, that boy rhyming this morning. Oh, there's a new spin on this thing called sin, and so we gotta begin. Oh, that's dope. See, I told y'all I was a rapper in my former life. I told y'all. MC what I might start going by that name too, but no, I'm just playing. Okay, so let's get into this, guys, because this is a fascinating topic and I can't wait to unpack this for you. Check it out. We got to begin with what sin is. Now listen, this is not Bible class 101. This is not theology 101. I'm not going to go deep. If you're looking for deep, then I'm not the channel, I'm not the station, I'm not the program for you, okay? In that aspect, right? The things we share are of value, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about if you want some heavy, like 2-3 hour commentary, Greek, Hebrew, original language, context, and compare. Listen, no. We just regular folk around here, okay? We just regular folk getting it in and living our best life in and through God, okay? So what is sin at the base level? The base level, it is to miss the mark or aim. It comes from the archer. It comes from the bow and the arrow. It comes from the archer world, right? You know those bullseyes, that little red target. You're aiming at that. No archer steps up to the line, pulls back his bow, or pulls back the arrow right within the bow, and aims for the outer rings. No one does. That's never the aim. The aim is always the bullseye. The aim is always that little red circle in the middle. That's the highest achievement. That's the highest honor. That's the highest goal. That's what you're setting out for. Sin is to miss that. And obviously, in the context of our lives, sin is to mess up or get it wrong or not do God's will or not do the things that you were created to do, right? Many of you who are my listeners, I know you guys have Bible backgrounds or some sort of religious background or some awareness, right, to God and to religion and to a faith-based lifestyle. So we get it. Sin in the context of living is, to not do maybe what we should do here, right? And so with that understanding, I want to take this scripture and then I want to come back to it in just a moment, okay? Remember, everything in context. Everything in context. No temptation has seized you, the Bible says, except what is common to man. Hold that thought. So whenever we sin, right, in life, right, and we're getting to how this is going to help you to see how good you are. No temptation has seized you except what is common to man. So when we sin, we're tempted to sin, right? Something's offered, something is presented, right? Our passions, right? Our natural inclination to do something maybe we shouldn't be doing, right? So the Bible is saying nothing tempts you except those temptations which everyone experiences. It's common amongst man, amongst all of humanity. And there and here on the screen, if you're watching, I added on to it and all that comes with it. What I mean is that all that comes with the sin, right? The complications, right? The heartache, the heartbreak, right? Sometimes we sin within relationships or we sin within, the world somehow, some way, and it creates a ripple effect. So not only, is the temptation common, but all of the repercussions are are common. So let's go back again. Remember how we started? Let's go back here. Remember how we started? Looking too far up to others can cause you to look too far down on yourself. Have you ever, or maybe you're doing this right now, you're exalting someone. Maybe it's someone you know, maybe it's someone on television. And I got some notes over here that I want to share with you just to kind of put it into a bit more context, right? One of my notes here is, don't let other people's highlights become their lifetime. Are you looking up to someone to the point where you're exalting them unknowingly? And by looking so far up to them, you are unconsciously looking down on yourself. Remember, this platform is all about helping you to see how great you are, how good you are, how valuable and significant and worthy of a great life and existence and life experience that you are. Are you looking at others and lifting them up so high, maybe without even knowing it? Maybe this is about awareness for you. See, the reason that I use sin and the reason that we use this temptation and the missing of the mark and that it's common and all the things that come with it is common is because the people that we tend to exalt, the people that we tend to push up, the people that we tend to put on these pedestals, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Breaking news, they sin. They miss the mark. They mess up. And maybe you may be saying to yourself, dude, I know that. I know we all sin. I know we all mess up. Okay, but you hear what I'm saying? This is about sometimes not knowing what we're doing. Sometimes we're looking up to people so much that we forget that they have flaws, that we forget that they go through what we go through, that we forget that they feel the same way that we feel. See, if your superstars, if your movie stars, your actors, your actresses, I don't know who they are in your life, right? Your IG supermodels, your whoever out in social media, whatever. If these people began to be just as common as you see yourself, then maybe you wouldn't look down so far on yourself. Sometimes we compare, right? We're doing a double take on compare. I did a episode a couple of weeks ago about comparisons. So this is like comparisons part 2, because it's such a poison in our society. Comparing ourselves to others is such a poison. It's almost a sin, right? To love someone else, to admire someone else to such a degree that you reject yourself. There is a healthy balance of admiring what other people do and admiring their skill sets or admiring their talents and gifts. But some of us have crossed over so much that when we hear the name so-and-so, or we see that, that preacher, or when we see that public figure, or when we see that speaker, or when we see that person, oh, they're flawless. Oh, they're amazing. But then we look down on ourselves. Here, let me share with you an excerpt from my book, What Is Enough? And if you ain't got my book, What Is Enough, why don't you have my book, What Is Enough? You can head over to Amazon. I'll put the link in the show notes. Check this out, guys. This is picking up in the chapter about comparisons. I did a whole chapter on comparing ourselves to other people, okay? And this is right there in the middle of this chapter. And before we get to this part, I was saying basically that, I feel you. I get it. I know what it means to think of others so great and think of myself as so little, right? And so I just want to pick up right here where it gets into the point that I was just making. I once thought the same way. It's not easy living in a society saturated with photoshopped models in fashion magazines, flawlessly filtered selfies on social media, and Hollywood stars on every channel. Wait, Did you catch that? Stars. Where did that description come from? And what qualifies celebrities, not us, to be considered as stars? Isn't their job acting, singing, dancing? Don't they go to work just like you and me? Aren't they paid for their services or skills the same as us? Though maybe not at the same level. Why does this hierarchy exist in our society? Why are celebrities mobbed by photographers or photographers? Wow. Wake up, brother. Photographers and waited on hand and foot. Yet when you and I walk down those same streets, no one notices us at all. We're looked over as if we're not even there. You guys starting to get my picture? Isn't this sort of nonsense that, it's this sort of nonsense that invokes unconscious. Remember, I was telling you, we're not conscious of it. We're doing it, but we're not conscious. Maybe I should have opened up with this so I could really set the stage for what I really wanted to share. But now you're starting to see how it's all coming together. It's this sort of nonsense that invokes unconscious comparisons and incites so many young people and old to chase dreams of celebrity, even if they're not actually interested or talented in the performance art, in the performing arts, or talent in performance or art. The deflated soul is desperate for the validation that these professions appear to provide, namely greater status in the system. The problem with this system is that it's not so much what it says about the other person as much as what we believe it says about us by comparison. If they are stars, you ask, then what am I? Does that make sense, guys? If they're stars, then what am I? This is the society that we live in. And I'm not trying to be a killjoy on Hollywood or a killjoy on society. I'm just saying that this type of stuff is happening unconsciously. And it's so acceptable. And yet we all sin. We all miss the mark. Sin is the great equalizer. It levels the playing field. It makes us all very human. You watch too many Marvel comic movies. You watch too many, Walt Disney movies. You watch too many of these superhero, out of this world, beyond this universe type of superhero movies. You watch too many of those things, and we begin to look at unconsciously these actors and these roles as something greater than ourselves. When the truth is, we are all flawed. We are all dealing with something. We are all busted up in some way. And we are all in need of God. We are all in need of love and forgiveness and grace and mercy. And we all suffer the same, mental challenges. We all suffer the same stuff, man, to some degree. Yes, some suffer more than others, but to some degree. And so I really hope that you get my point. My point to this is, guys, if you see the sin, not the sin in others, but if you see that sin is common amongst us all, meaning we all miss the mark, then it helps you to see how good you really are. See, sometimes we will look at others and say, oh, that preacher, I can't imagine them sinning. So unconsciously, we put them up, we elevate them, we exalt them, because we can't even imagine. Like, we can go off and we can have a life-dominating sin. We can have a life-dominating issue. We can have a life-dominating problem. We can be caught up in the mess, in our darkness. But we say to ourselves, well, yeah, I mean, sure, I can be dealing with this. I can be going through this problem. But have you ever tried to imagine the people that you look up to? Have you ever tried to imagine the people that you admire? Have you ever imagined, the people that you hold in high esteem doing those bad things, those sins that you so easily indulge in? Imagine taking the pastor that you exalt, the man of God, the woman of God, every Sunday. You see them on the stage preaching and teaching the word of God with authority and power. And now take those same people, take that same image, right? Authority, power. Now, imagine them doing something that you would find yourself doing so easily, and you would call it a sin, a mistake that you continue to make, the mark that you continue to miss. Can you imagine them doing that? See? Take that superstar on television who every time you see them posting on IG or Twitter or on Instagram, right? Instagram, IG and Instagram, right? Same thing. Facebook, whatever, right? And every time you see their picture, it's perfect. They're smiling. They're somewhere new. They're doing something amazing, some amazing activity, right? And so that gets etched in your brain because, again, this is so unconscious. This is so subconscious. This is so not on our radar. But we're looking at these snippets of people's lives, these highlight reels, and without really grasping it, we're saying that's their lives. So now take that superstar and now imagine them somewhere suffering. Imagine them somewhere wanting to commit suicide. Imagine them somewhere sitting off with all the money. That's another big one. You see the cars they're driving, the houses that they live in. You watch TMZ or, I don't know the latest, television show. That was like the one I could recall. But I mean, we got television shows that highlight the lifestyles of the celebrities. They show their cars and how they live and the restaurants they go to and the circles that they run in, and then especially when you look on IG. I mean, they're taking pictures with each other. I was just on there the other day, and I think I saw like a picture with Kevin Hart, right? It was Kevin Hart. He was taking a picture with LeBron James, and so it was Kevin Hart, LeBron James, and it was some other famous person. I didn't think much of it, whatever. They were at I think they were it might have been at the Super Bowl. Yeah. So they were up in their suite, right? So when you look at this picture, right, you're like, yo, Kevin Hart, LeBron, this other person, they're up in their luxury suite. Oh man, they're at the Super Bowl. Everybody got on ice, everybody, dripping, everybody got on that stuff. They smiling, they laughing, they popping bottles. What a life. Can you sit back and imagine them suffering? Can you imagine them questioning themselves? Can you imagine them on the edge of depression? Can you imagine them, doing something that they wouldn't be proud of, or that if it got out or if it got leaked? Right now, yes, we always have scandals, and we're used to scandals. What I'm trying to get the point that I'm trying to get across is, how conscious are we? If you're in this place, if this is applicable to you, how conscious are you that they are just as human as you, that they are just as valuable as you, as precious as you? Like you're like equal. Sometimes we take that financial status, man. Sometimes we take our income and we just blow it all out of proportion. That is one element. The human pie is huge. The human life is huge. And we take that financial piece and we just say, man, they must be living the life. Or we take that one skill or that one gift, like preaching or speaking or podcasting, I don't know, right? And we compare ourselves and we say, oh, that person does that so amazing, man, I wish I could. Man, they must be doing great. Oh man, I can't see myself, right? Again, you're looking so high up at somebody that you're beginning to look down on yourself, guys. one story I wanted to share, one last story that I wanted to share before I start wrapping it up. You guys know that I'm a part of this amazing year-long coaching certification course, getting certified as a coach. And we were on a call last night. And the coaches that are coaching us, that are training the actual course, there was a time where one of them spoke and they shared from the heart how, last couple of weeks been hard for them and how they've been, having some issues and some struggles on a personal level. A little self-doubt creeped in, a little self-doubt, right? And they had to take a step back and they had to, reevaluate and, use some of these skills and techniques that they use for coaching. They had to use them on themselves, right? Had to get their head back in the game because it creeped in. These are the people that are coaching us, training us. And it really blessed me and encouraged me. I was so grateful. It was good that they're so aware of themselves and so comfortable with themselves, and they care about us so much that they would show that vulnerable side, that they would show that human side. I'm not just mega coach, super coach, bulletproof. And again, this isn't necessarily sin, but it's another example that even people who help people need help. Even people who help people need help. We all need this help, guys. Don't ever, if I can encourage you, don't ever look up to someone so far that you begin to look down on yourself, right? Let it be an even playing field. Financial status, career paths, letters behind people's names, positions within our society. There is no hierarchy, man. There's one, with all due respect to rank and file in terms of leadership and corporate structure and governmental structures. I get it. The context that I'm speaking in is humanity at its core. There is no hierarchy. You are just as good as they are. And it is sin that we can always look to and say, yep, we all deal with it. We're all tempted. We all fall short. We all mess up. We all miss the mark. And because we all miss the mark, we all suffer the same results that sin brings. We all go through it. So in that, we are common. Does that make sense? I told you guys I was going to try something new. I hope it landed. I hope it was delivered in a way that you could understand it. And this is a great opportunity for you to hit me up, right? I'm going to switch the slides in just a moment and ask you to email me and support and, those different things. Here's a great opportunity, right? Because I tried something new. I didn't know how it was going to land. I wanted to flow with it and just let it come out and see how it goes. So I would love your feedback, guys. info@iamthepossible.com. info@iamthepossible.com. Let me know, man. How did that land? How did that hit? Did it make sense? Right? Did you comprehend what I was trying to say? Right? Was it a good spin on words? Right? Let me know, guys. Let me know. All right, wrapping it up. Got a few more things that I wanted to share really quick. Let me add this back. All right, guys. It is time to ask, oh yes, for your support. Tell somebody, please. Word of mouth is still the greatest marketing tool of all time. Yep, just share. Just share, especially something like this. If someone's being, someone's down in the mud about, maybe they've been dealing with a sin, dealing with an issue, dealing with a problem, and they just feel alone and they feel like they're the only ones that's dealing with it. And they feel like they're the only ones that has this issue. Well, this is a great episode to share. Nope, we all got that issue. We all got that problem. We all dealing with it. We all in this mess together. Okay. So no need to exalt those around you. Just love them, admire them, respect them. But don't make them anything greater than your equal when it comes to humanity. Okay. You can still love on them and support them and celebrate them to the highest degree. But when your value and your significance and the way you see yourself comes into question, it should always be, I'm good. I'm just as good as they are. I'm just as good as they are. Genesis 1:31. God saw all that he had created, and it was good. Yeah, it was good. All right, guys, leave me a comment, info@iamthepossible.com, or right here on the YouTube. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you thought, good, bad, indifferent. Just want to hear back from you. Any feedback, any comments that you want to share, what hit you, what made sense, any aha moments. We'd love to hear from you. Head over to YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell, join that notification nation to ensure that you get every single episode of the I Am the Possible podcast experience and every piece of organic content that I upload each and every week to help you to stay on fire for your future. All right. And lastly, podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, iHeartRadio, wherever you are, right? Leave me a review, please, oh please. 5 stars, 2 stars, no stars. But just hit me back. Let me know. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how this new season is going for you. Let me know, if you're encouraged, if you're inspired. Help, let me know if I suck, if these episodes stink and you like, man, you need to stop this. I'm not, but you can still let me know. Right? Just playing. But just would love to hear from you guys. Make sure that you subscribe as well and download every episode. Something I never put on here. iAMthepossiblepodcast.com is another location that you can find me at. That you can download episodes as well. iAMthepossiblepodcast.com. It's just a hub that gets you to other podcast platforms. So, all right, guys, that's it. Wrapping it up. This was great, man. This was great. I took a chance, right? I took a risk, right? Cultivating my inner Elon Musk, right? Just taking chances, just doing something out the box. And yeah, it's all good. It's a learning process, guys. It's a learning process. If I don't do things different, if I don't switch it up, if I don't take a chance and risk, I'll never grow. And if I don't grow, then I'll never know how great I can be. So, word to the wise, man. Take chances, because if you don't, then you'll never know how great you can be. All right. Love you guys. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. Until next time, go out today and in some way find a way to be why it's possible. Peace.